through my 20s, and I'm 27 now.
Oh, same.
Oh yeah. But what I've...
You guys are 27? And you're doing this shit? That's so crazy, man. That's so crazy. I am surprised by that, honestly. I assumed that Tom Foe was a younger man. That is sad. That is pathetic, actually. That's crazy. That's crazy. Because, like, the way he idolizes Nick Fuentes, and he talks about him all the time, and he gets all starry-eyed. Yeah, I assumed he was like a, you know, an idealistic 19-year-old. Okay, 20-year-old. 27. Dog, you are 27 and you're still doing this shit?
What I've learned is that just...
Oh my
God. You cannot read your mind, and that's...
Alright, we're live. What up, my bone smashers? What up, my mewers? I hope y'all are looks maxing today. I'm alcohol maxing. I'm maxing out my alcoholic stat. You know, as I was saying yesterday, this vodka is hard to drink. Okay, especially for a potato vodka. For me, it's not. I'm not gonna lie. It's not very tasty. It's not a good potato vodka. But it's certainly good enough. I can stand it, and it has kind of an interesting aftertaste. It's not like most potato vodkas. It's not very nutty. I don't know how to explain it. It feels like this may be alarming, but it tastes like chemicals. Like it tastes very chemically. I don't know. Anyway, either way, I'm drinking it. Okay, I'm gonna finish the bottle. I mean, not tonight or anything. Still got like half of it left. But today we are reacting to a video, and this one is very long. So I'm gonna try to react to all of it in one sitting. But I'm probably gonna upload this in parts because, yeah, this video is almost 3 hours long. Okay, and you know I'm gonna be adding another like 2-3 hours on top of it, knowing me. But we'll see. Who knows? So I'll probably upload this in like 1 hour segments or so. You know, part 1, part 2, part 3. That makes sense. But without further ado, here's Tom Foe and the Right Wing Coalition. That's right, they did a collab.
You guys
okay,
are
they're
about
collabing.
to watch a conversation I had with the Right Wing Coalition. In this discussion, we go over a variety of topics.
Oh boy.
Everything from the Constitution and its relevancy, the morality of not only America, but the West as a whole, the future of America, and
morality,
the differences
or lack thereof, maybe.
Left-wing hive mind versus the right-wing individualism, and much more. We talk about a lot of stuff in this video, as you can tell from...
Yeah, famously, right-wing people are not a hive mind or collective identity at all. Yeah, because like, make no mistake, that's what they're talking about when they say hive mind, liberal hive mind. They're basically saying, you know, all you liberals, you're all on the same page, you're all coordinated, you know, you're organized, yada yada, but us right-wing people, we value individuality. We value individuality, which is exactly why we engage in like building a nationalist movement where we are all united under you know, under country, under banner. Yeah, man. Anyway,
how long it is. All I would have to say is be sure to check out his channel. I'm going to put links to all of his socials below and a few other things. So be sure, if you don't already, to go subscribe to him, show him support. And with that all being said, enjoy this conversation with the Right Wing Coalition.
Oh, I will.
And oh my gosh, like nobody does anything. They'll ask for advice, they'll look up tutorials, but they don't ever make stuff, and it kind of pisses me off because they're just They're not taking action.
I 100% agree with that. I feel like, and same here. A lot of people reached out, and everybody's so focused on the process.
Yeah, that's because you look. You guys won. Okay, you won. You voted. You voted and you won. Okay, this happens every election. People vote, somebody wins, and then whoever wins the group, they begin to feel betrayed. Okay, and it's happening faster and faster every election. And I think that this is a collective wokeness. Okay, it's a collective waking up. Okay, but anyway, you guys won. The reason that there's a lot of apathy on the right is because people that care, they jump ship, okay, and they become either radical moderates or they become libs. Okay, that's what happens. Okay, I'm telling you, the left-wing pipeline is just the brutality of the state. Okay, that's it. That's what radicalizes people towards the left. So, that's what's happening. Okay, you have the people who are proactive, as you put it, on your side, are just making state propaganda. Okay, that's it. Your favorite guy, Nick Fuentes, just came out of the woodwork and said that like Epstein actually wasn't that bad because they were trafficking adults. Okay, and then all of you dumb fucks are like, no, he was joking. Like, are you sure? Are you sure? Because that's not very funny. That's not very funny at all. Say what you will about the racism. I stand by this. I stand by what I said about Nick Fuentes. He's funny. He's talented. Okay, but doing the libertarian meme about the Epstein victims at this point in time, when they are actively covering it up and suppressing the truth. Yeah, that's not like a funny joke. That doesn't sound like a funny little joke to me. That sounds like state propaganda. That's what that sounds like. So, you can point and laugh at it. You can say, like, he's in on the joke. He was just kidding. Like, okay. Find out for yourself.
And rather than, like, the inherent part of what you're doing. And that's kind of the opposite of my approach, and I think yours too, where, like, I thought I had a different perspective on both. The only videos I had kind of imagined in my head were the Fuentes and the Peterson one. And yeah, like the video, the audio, all that shit, like that was ancillary to what I was trying to say. And so many people are like, okay, I'm gonna drop $300 on the best mic possible, and I'm gonna get this lighting, whatever set up. And obviously we don't show our faces, but I mean, I didn't care about that stuff. Is not what's important, right? It's your actual, it's your content, your words. And you're right. There's a lot of people that just.
Of course it matters. Of course it matters. The reason I show my face, a lot of people ask me, J-Star. Okay, when I say a lot of people, I mean, like, I'm serious. Like, people ask me this quite often. Okay, mainly my friends and like my family, people in my personal life. But they ask me, J-Star, why didn't you be a VTuber? Why would you show your face? Okay, why are you doing that? And I'll tell you why. It's because I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid of this shit coming back to me. Okay, yeah, I may say mean things, I may curse, okay, I may say bad words, and I may be a radical, but I stand by what I say. I don't care if I'm doxxed. Okay, well, I mean, I do care about that. I don't want to be doxxed, but like, I don't care if people know who I am and I like get exposed. Okay, as long as people aren't threatening me, going, trying to find my address, shit like that, I don't care. Okay. If it weren't for the doxing thing, I would reveal my like actual name as well. I'd reveal my government name, but because of the way our system works, people could very easily find my address and shit like that if they knew my name, most likely. So. But anyway, I think that the reason that you guys hide your face is because you're afraid. It's because you're scared. And you're not scared of the woke mob coming and canceling you and stopping you from getting a job or whatever. I think you're just like afraid of people recognizing you in real life or something and calling you out on your shit because you spew vile racism. Okay, whereas me personally, I without revealing too much, I have already had like real life run-ins with individuals who have seen my content, and I know that sounds crazy because my channel is so small. But the fact of the matter is people around me know about my channel. People in my community know about my channel, most people, my opinions are very unpopular in America. Okay, especially where I live. You understand? So like, I've experienced that, but that's not why I'm not afraid of it, though. The reason I'm not afraid of it is because I can confidently and concisely convey my ideas to any individual. Okay, so anybody that has questions about my beliefs, I am happy to share my thought process and my reasoning with them. Okay, and that's exactly what I did, and that's exactly what I'll always do with everyone, with anyone that confronts me, whether it's online or in real life. But just so you know, if you run up on me in real life, you better come prepared.
They withhold from
That's
taking
all
action.
I'll say about that.
But I don't know how you feel specifically, but like I'm not in
You're
this
pussies.
to be some like F-list celebrity or get praise, right? Like I truly believe that like what I have to say is important just on its substance alone, and I don't have that ulterior motive that's like a lot of people do, where they just like want to be an influencer. You know what I mean? Like even the loss of my anonymity is not out of like the pursuit of slingshotting me into the right-wing influencer position. It's just like, okay, well, I kind of have to do that or I'm being a hypocrite.
No, I mean 100%. Like I don't even consider myself a YouTuber. It's like, yeah, I play the game and I make the thumbnails and I do the titles because that's what's required. Like you have to do
Thumbnails
that.
are good also.
Oh, thank you. Yours too, dude. Your stuff, it's like you figured out an aesthetic and it works because the aesthetics are important because that's how you get people in front of the video. But it's like, dude, that's not why I'm doing all this either. I actually think you especially, you're very authentic.
It's not though. That's not what's important. You know, you have a lot more subscribers than me. Okay, that's true. That's true. At the same time, we make very different kinds of content. Okay, but what's important is grabbing people's attention, right? Hooking them. Okay, and then what matters after that is substance. Okay, so like you're gonna grab people's attention, and they're probably going to click off your video pretty fast, okay? Me, you, everyone, okay? Because we make long-form content. Okay, we do. I think, any video that's longer than like 20 minutes, most people aren't going to watch even 5% of it, okay? And that's just across the board. You know, my videos are way longer than that, okay? Anyway. So the people that do stick around though, those are the viewers that will come back. Okay, those are the viewers that are important. And that's why substance matters a lot. Okay, what you say, how convincing you are, how articulately you can dissect the opposition's points in any given argument, in any given subject. That's what matters. Okay, that's it.
Even when you're writing, you write these scripts, and like with me, the reason why I don't write scripts is because, first of all, I'm not anywhere near as good as you, but when I write, I make myself sound different than what I actually am. So it's not authentic. With you, it's authentic, and people can recognize that, and it resonates with them, and you actually believe in what you're saying, and that's why people, they gravitate towards that. It means something. So all these other people that are just going out of their way
now that I do agree with.
And do this other,
authenticity is extremely important.
And it's like, yeah, if you want to do that,
well.
fine, but at least make stuff. There's people I meet and they don't do anything. It's like you don't have to be perfect at writing or perfect at whatever. Just start taking action because that's what we need.
Well, thank you. I sincerely appreciate that. I think that you are like the opposite side of the same coin, in that your authenticity comes through by your sheer like unadulterated presentation, where I've actually been thinking about that myself, of like, if I am still coming across as authentic, because and you've probably experienced this far more than I have, but I've noticed just how much people will hang on specific words. And I know, especially with my Jordan Peterson video, that's the one video of all the ones I've done where I didn't understand the gravity of like how important it is to get your words right. I mean, I really dressed up that narrative to kind of be a little bit mythologized, which is, you know, what I'm doing with my book as well. But like, it kind of made me sound like I was this like simp bitch for Jordan Peterson. Like I was not. Like I wasn't even a Peterson fan. By the time he went to rehab, I wasn't even a Peterson fan. So, but that made me realize like, oh, I need to be really careful with what I say. And even on some level, at the end of my Gen Z video, like I just feel like I maybe implemented a little bit too much emotion. So, I mean, how do you feel about that? Because you're going off the cuff, and if I was going off the cuff, I mean, I would be it would probably hinder me a lot because, especially my perspective now, it's like I'd be so concerned that whatever I was going to say was going to be perceived wrong or maybe not sound intelligent or not get my point across. How do you feel about that, given that you don't have a script, which is really admirable, by the way?
Oh, well, thank you. And by the way, the Peterson video is really good. I know people that...
So, doesn't work off a script. Yeah, I do believe that. Somewhat. This person... His video, and I've said this before, I've said that his videos sound like not scripted but guided, right? I think he outlines his videos before he records them, and then he reads the talking points as he goes through them, and then he talks about them. He goes through the points, he word vomits about them, because a script would honestly just sound better, okay, if he did it, okay? And he makes his videos very quickly. He's not taking the time to write a script, okay? Otherwise, his content would be less frequent and higher quality as well.
Like, even when I've talked about your channel...
But that being said, like, his off-the-cuff, I think, that's not really accurate, okay? What I do is off-the-cuff. I react to this shit live. I do it live every day. Every day I react live, okay? I have no script at all, ever. Not in any kind of form. I don't believe that about this person. I don't believe he has no script at all. Okay, no bullshit.
People, they don't really, like, if they didn't know who
Look,
you were,
I know the game, bro. I know the
I've seen
content
video.
game, okay?
Really? Yeah, so it's like, I know
I've
a lot of
made
people really
content
like that one, so I think
before.
that's actually a very good video. And the Gen Z video
before what I'm
arguably
doing
one of the
now,
most
I mean.
important things like ever made. It's amazing. And I'm not
Thank
glazing
you.
you, dude. It's
Yeah.
like, I'm being honest. Like, it's really good. And with me, with not like writing scripts, it's like, I'm gonna be honest, it's like that clip of Alex Jones when he was on Joe Rogan. It's like, I'm a little bit retarded. You know, it's like I say stupid shit all the time. I'm not some genius, so I know I'm going to say something that makes me look dumb. I know people are going to make fun of the way I talk sometimes. I might repeat myself because I am just kind of ranting sometimes. So it's not perfect, and it's kind of like rough around the edges. And yeah, you get criticisms for that, but I just kind of have decided I'm not going to care about that stuff.
Yeah.
And it just works. It's been working so far. But I mean, yeah, like I definitely will say things that I could have worded it better. I could have explained it better, or I'll forget stuff. So it's not the most foolproof plan. So arguably, maybe I should have notes or something, but...
You don't have any notes? You just reball it? Totally?
I think the last time I had notes is when I was talking about... it was like a video I made like a month or two ago. So I haven't done notes in a while. Sometimes I'll read articles, but besides that, I'm just kind of yelling, which has its pros, but I mean, you definitely, yeah, like people are going to... You're not going to sound as intelligent, at least me, because my vocabulary isn't that extensive. Like, I'm not some genius. I didn't go to college. I'm just a basic dude, so... It's like, I like... Yeah.
You've become a personality, whereas I don't think I am.
He's been watching my videos.
I think that's necessarily a good or bad thing, but I mean, I see your tweets. Your tweets get tons of engagement, and your fans are real fans. I mean, I listened to you on Jay Burden. Is that his name?
Yeah, Jay Burden. Jay Burden. Yeah, I didn't ask if that was his real name, but
yeah, I've seen his stuff before, and that was really cool to see you on. But I mean, he was clearly like a true fan of your presence and personality. Whereas, like, I feel like for myself, it's purely the logic of my analysis, which, you know, again, it can be good and bad, because when I have a take,
that's so cringe, bro.
It's the logic
of... I mean, maybe that it's perceived this way, that like there's not that fandom there. Whereas with you, I think that's not the case. But I was curious because my Fuentes video,
that one was for you, Tom.
Like mostly praise. And there was a lot of people that were just like, I guess, shitlibs that were angry about it. But then the Peterson one was really when I started getting true, like, vitriolic responses. And I'm embarrassed to say that it did bother me at first. I don't care anymore. The only thing I care about is when my point doesn't get received like I wish it had. Like, well, you know, I didn't mean that. And if I just clarified XYZ, then it would have come across differently. How was that for you? I mean, I'm sure you've gotten at least some hate. Like, did it bother you? I was surprised, honestly, how much it bothered me at first. And not like I was like crying about it, but you know what I mean? Like, it did. It was a little bit biting.
I mean, yeah, it does bother me. And I can see, because what you're doing is you're actually writing a script. You think
fucking liberals, dude, they're so annoying, man. It does bother me. It does bother me. You know what, bitch? It don't bother me. It don't bother me. It never bothers me. Oh man, and like, yeah, my channel is smaller. Okay, I know. I don't get as much hate. But yeah, I've had some truly disgusting words shared in my comments section. Okay, I've had to delete comments because they have slurs or they you know, make threats on my life. I think that's inappropriate. Okay, whether you know my real identity or not, you know, making threats about my life, not cool. Okay, and then there's even some like more gray area stuff, like, you know, the like you should be in prison type stuff, like you should go to jail, you should be prosecuted for your opinions, you know. But yeah, I mean, like, stop fucking crying about it. I hate it when content creators do this, okay? And like, to be fair, content creator, this is like the time and place to do it, okay, when you're talking to another content creator. But it's annoying to me, okay? It comes across as annoying. It comes across as like woe is me, you know, and it's dumb. Like, you asked for this. You make content. You make content. You asked for that. You asked for the scrutiny. Okay, like I make these videos, and every video I release that gets more than 50 views, okay, which is a lot of them, okay, especially these days, okay, but every video I release that gets more than like 50 or so views, I get lots of scrutiny, okay, I get multiple comments. If I get a few hundred views, my God, like I'm telling you, I think like 25% of my views, they leave comments, okay, which is, I feel like that's pretty high. I could be wrong, but like you look at my videos with 400 views, 100 comments, okay, 600 views, 120 to 150 comments. Like, that's what I get. That's what I get every time I get those kind of views. So, anyway, you know, this is what you get. This is what I'm asking for. You are never going to hear me complain about this. You are never going to hear me complain. Okay, wow, you know, people are saying mean things. Like, you know, I hardly ever bring it up. Okay, only to make jokes. Only to make jokes about it. Like, yeah, because when people call me a terrorist, okay, now the things, you know, like people wanting to kill me, okay, that stuff, yeah, I can't really make jokes about that. That's not funny. Okay, but like people that like call me a terrorist, like that shit's kind of funny. You know, you should be in prison for you should be charged with wokeness and put in prison. Like that shit's stupid. Okay, so it's like, it's kind of funny to talk about. But at the same time, I'm careful because I don't want to come across that way. I don't want to come across like I don't like it, because I do like it. I like it when people scrutinize me. Do it more. You know, because either I'll think that you're correct and I'll learn something new about myself. Okay, unlikely. Or more likely, I will disagree with you, and we'll actually have a discussion, a proactive discussion about whatever the subject at hand is. So, all that is to say, I appreciate the scrutiny. Leave comments, criticize me, okay? If you're a lib, if you're a shit lib, if you're a fucking woke-tard, if you're a conservative, okay, dumbass, bootlicker, okay, whoever you are, leave a comment if you disagree with me. Leave a comment if you don't disagree with me. You know, tell me you agree with me. I love that. But I love the scrutiny, okay? And this is because I like to fight. You know, I always have. I've always liked to fight. Not in real life, okay? I abhor violence. I got into a fight in middle school, and that day I swore I would never do it again unless I had to. Because it was a situation, and I don't want to go into too much detail about this this happening, but I was not deemed the instigator. Okay, like I wasn't the guilty party in the events that transpired here, but I felt kind of guilty. You know, like I felt like, and I was like, in all honesty, I could have probably stopped the fight. I participated in it after all, and I could have not done that. So all that is to say, I hate like physical violence. I love like verbal. I wouldn't call it violence, but like verbal fighting. You know, I love that, arguing, debating. Okay, and what's strange is most people that are like me, I think that they grow up in households where each like family member constantly advocates for themselves and demeans others, and like people, you know, like we all know families like this. Like they constantly clash with each other. They argue. Well, you're doing this to me, and you're doing this to me, and that sort of thing. But I didn't grow up in a family like this. I grew up in the opposite, actually. I grew up in a family where, you know, it was super woke, okay, it was super libtarded, and like, we were all very understanding of each other and patient, and we certainly had our like moments of like, you know, fighting. All families do. But most of the time we were very understanding of each other, and you know, it was always a priority to come to a middle ground when stuff like that happened. But I think that a lot of people that have my like inclination for like being terminally online, arguing with people online, usually they're not from families like that. I think usually they're you know, raised to be a fighter. They're raised to argue and disagree with others. But I think I turned out like this because I was born in the right place at the right time, and the politics, they happened, and I saw it growing up, and I was extremely contrarian all throughout my like teenage years. Or at least I'm sorry, I saw myself as contrarian. Okay, like I said, I was a Republican. Of course, Republicans are not truly contrarian. The Republican voters are extremely defensive of present institutions as they currently exist, historically, anyway. Okay, that's becoming less and less true as the years go on and the election cycles continue. But anyway, I forgot why I originally paused the video, so let's keep going.
About things
that took me forever.
So you're putting a lot of mental effort into that stuff beforehand, so when you start getting attacked, that's going to make anybody who's like normal feel some type of way, 100%. But I get hate all the time. Every time I get like a group of fans, I'll make a video where I say something and it pisses that new group off, and so
yeah. I don't really care anymore, but it did take, and that's why with the book coming out, you know, under my name, I needed that preparation of like, you know, most of these people are honestly just idiots, and that you know, are hating. Not that my takes are so brilliant that you couldn't reasonably disagree, but the point is just that like, it doesn't matter, like you shouldn't like hold the weight of that. But I definitely needed that first go round of like, yeah, this is what it's like to be somewhat public facing, because man, I mean, the book, like I said, it's gonna just absolutely, I mean, wreck my life on some level. But you know, it's gotta be said.
No, it's like, and I have a lot of respect for you doing this, because you know, it is crazy because people do take things further online as well. So the hate you get for like a video, like taking a video, I can't even imagine what it's going to be like for a book. Like it's not going to be easy, but I definitely feel like you, of all people, you're kind of made for this. You know, like if there's definitely a purpose that you have in your life, it's got to be this, because you are extremely good at it. And I think something that guys like us have to kind of think about is that our like thought process, the things we kind of believe in, the things we're advocating for, it's heretical to the established ideas. And so we're going to get attacked constantly, and especially when somebody like you who's articulating it so like well, to where, I mean, anybody can sit down and watch like your video and, you know,
okay,
I know you're saying
okay,
like,
what articulates it well. To be fair, I've only watched one of his videos and it was dog shit. Okay, it was garbage. It's why I haven't watched another one. Okay, and honestly, I need to go back to Right Wing Coalition. Number one, because he'll be an easy dunk for me. An easier dunk, okay? All of these motherfuckers are easy to dunk on, okay? But he is certainly even easier than, say, Jimmy Talks, okay? Or Tom Foe, even. And also, I don't think he puts music in his videos, which is good for me, because I like to add music to my videos, and I hate it when it conflicts. Especially when I don't notice it in the editing process, because sometimes I do that, okay? I've done that before, and it sounds like shit. Okay, my bad, bro. Okay, I'm kind of new to this. Anyway.
You might not get a point
Moving
across
on.
the way you want it, or people might not receive it, but ultimately I feel like most people can get a whole lot more from your style of content, because it's just so well thought out and so well written. And even with you, with like the way you're talking now, like you're a very thoughtful person. I think you would actually do very well if you were streaming. Like if you're streaming and talking to people and stuff, I think you would actually.
Yeah. You should do that, bro. Yeah. Yeah, be a streamer. Hey, come on. Come on, man. I'll show you the way. Okay, we can be me and Right Wing Coalition. You know, say what you will about Tom Foe. Right Wing Coalition has very little motion. Okay, Tom Foe has some motion. A little bit. Okay, Right Wing Coalition, not so much. His channel is kind of, I'm not going to say it's faltering. Okay, because all of these all of their channels are growing. Okay, unfortunately. Unfortunately, they're all growing here on YouTube. But anyway, hey, I'd be happy to show you the ropes, bro. It's not that hard. It's not that hard. But at the same time, you can't really be a streamer unless you're also a gamer. Okay, for real. Unless maybe you're a musician, or like you need to have something to do while you're streaming. Okay, and like if you're into fucking knitting or whatever, you could do that too. Okay, or whatever. But if you're like if you're a shitty right-wing YouTuber, mediocre right-wing YouTuber, then and all you do is make videos and that's like your life. Maybe you like go to the gym too or something like it. You don't really. There's nothing there to stream. You know. What, are you just gonna sit in front of a camera and wait for someone to come into your chat? Like, no. No, that's ridiculous.
But by the way, is that something you would get into? Is like streaming or collaborations?
Yes, he will.
Like, I mean,
he's thought about it.
I got asked to do a few podcasts early on, not from anybody big. I'm gonna go on Foul Ball Productions because he's been a fan, or I guess not a fan, but you know he's liked what I've been doing since the beginning. And I told him originally that I wasn't gonna do podcasts because I was, like I said, afraid that I would say something that down the line would be held against me. And you know, not that I was like afraid, but it's like, come on, I just dealing with the consistency of like, oh, he said that.
Well, that does sound like you're afraid. Dealing with consistency. Well, yeah, man. You're a political commentator. You need to remain consistent. That's like kind of the whole point, is that you do that. And when you do heel turn, okay, when you have a moment of inconsistency, you need to address it, okay, and you need to catch it before your audience does. You need to say, like, I know I've said this in the past, but like now I'm thinking like this, okay, and that's what you do, okay. You need to be consistent. It's the whole point.
You know, some
the whole point of
about like foreign policy, and now he's going back on. It's like, okay, I just don't care about like fighting that battle. I mean, this is really. I did one with Benjamin Boyce. I don't know if you know.
Fighting that battle? You're not interested in fighting the battle? You are a political commentator. What? I thought we were all about fighting for the white race, the continuity of the white race, bro. Come on. Not interested in fighting. Well, okay. Well, that doesn't sound like a fucking like I imagine I'm a right-wing person, okay? I'm a evil racist, okay? Imagine I'm an evil racist. Well, why the fuck would I watch you then after hearing this? What, you don't want to fight? Well, okay. Well, I don't want to fucking watch you. How about that?
He is, but
you suck.
But I've been a fan of his for years, and so when he asked me to,
Dumb
I
fuck.
think I did okay. But like, this is the first real kind of extemporaneous speaking that I've done, at least recorded. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think I would prefer to have a podcast where, you know, I talk for. I certainly cannot do what Nick does.
Sure, you wouldn't.
But
it's crazy.
It is crazy. But my only reservation would just be that.
Isn't that sad? Isn't that pathetic? I easily do what Nick does. Okay, easily. I'm not even, like, I'm not being hyperbolic, okay? And I'm not saying I'm like some kind of fucking prime time, grind time, okay, hustler. Like, I'm not special. Okay, it's just not that hard. It's just not. Like, bro, I stream more than Nick. And I don't have to deal with the audience, okay? He has thousands of people in his chat. You know, probably like hundreds of people talking in his chat. And, you know, I get that. That's something that I don't have to deal with. Okay, sure. Sure. At the same time, when I do get chatters, I feel energized by it. Like, it doesn't wear me out. It actually, like, gives me energy. You know, I enjoy talking to people. And so far, I haven't, even when I had multiple chatters going at once and I was talking to multiple people, that's happened to me several times before. I know, crazy is so wild. You liar. Liar. You do not get views. You do not get views, J-Star. That's what I hear all day. That's what I hear all day from him. And yet, you look at my videos and I'm getting views. Damn, that's so crazy. How is a leftist getting views on YouTube? How is that even happening? How could that be possible? I thought BreadTube was dead, bro. Anyway. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. But all that is to say, Nick Fuentes streams for, like, how long does he stream? Like 2-3 hours and he's done? Yeah, how many hours does he stream a week? Like, and, like, keep in mind, this is his full-time job, right? If I'm not mistaken, this is Fuentes' full-time job. He's a streamer. Okay, he's a political commentator. And how many hours does he stream a week? Certainly not 40. Certainly not 40. Me personally, okay, if I'm not on vacation, if I'm not taking a break, I will stream at least 56 hours a week. Anywhere between like 56 to 70 hours a week. But if I start consistently doing these 24-hour streams, like I'm thinking about, that number is going to go way up. Okay, that number is going to go way up, bro. And I'm excited because, and I haven't made this announcement yet, okay, but the J-Star broadcast, we're about to start ramping it up, okay, the streaming, on the streaming side. So, like, these past couple months, I've been ramping up the video production, and it's been going well. My YouTube channel is growing. I've gotten lots of new subscribers over the last 60 days, but let's be real. I've been neglecting the streaming somewhat, okay, a little bit. I haven't been able to stream as much. I was on vacation, and then I was making some software to help me edit my videos faster and more efficiently. And so I did that, and then I went through the process of going back over my old VODs and editing them, okay, and anyway, now I'm making more space on my drive. I'm gonna have a lot more space because of that, because of my editing skills, okay, and once all of my videos are done being edited, I'll have lots of new space. That means more games I can have on my drive. And we're gonna start doing some live streams. I'm thinking like I'll pick one game, okay, for like an 8-hour live stream, and I'll play it the whole time, okay, and I'll plan it out better so that like I won't be like, what do I do now, you know, because that's what happens when I'm streaming. I'll be playing a game and then I'm like, like I kind of know what to do here, but like I'm not for sure, and I don't really want to commit to it right now, and I'll switch to another game. Okay, it's either that or I get bored. Like with Mega Bonk. Okay, Mega Bonk doesn't take any planning at all, but anyway, that's beside the point. Most of the games I play, that's what happens. Okay, because I play something like Minecraft, where, you know, I need to be building something, right? That requires planning, or at least a little bit. Baldur's Gate 3, been playing that, also requires some planning. And by the way, that's probably what I'm going to be playing this evening, okay, when we're done with this shit. So let's get through it.
I do take a lot of pride and care, and I'm glad it seems to come across as like I really do think about what I'm saying on a really deep level, in the sense that I try and like build the frame for the listener. Because one thing I've kind of learned, especially going through my 20s, and I'm 27 now. Oh yeah. But what I've
You guys are 27? And you're doing this shit? That's so crazy, man. That's so crazy. I am surprised by that, honestly. I assumed that Tom Foe was a younger man. That is sad. That is pathetic, actually. That's crazy. That's great. Because, like, the way he idolizes Nick Fuentes, and he talks about him all the time, and he gets all starry-eyed. Yeah, I assumed he was like a, you know, an idealistic 19-year-old. Okay, 20-year-old. 27. Dog, you are 27 and you're still you're doing this shit?
What I've learned is that just
oh my
people cannot
god.
read your mind, and that sounds like a trite thing to say, but it's really true. I remember when I was younger, I would talk to people, whether it was like girls, friends, even bosses, and in my head I'm like, oh well, they know what I mean, or they know what they have the context to imply what I'm saying, and now I feel the opposite. I'm like, no, I'm assuming that they.
Yeah, no. Why did you ever think that? I never thought that, even as a child. I feel like everyone is like, oh yeah, my bad. These guys are probably a little bit on the spectrum, probably. Okay, but yeah, I mean, people they miss the point. They, even when it's obvious. Okay, you have to be patient with people. You have to explain to them. Okay, people are kind of dumb. Okay, they're dumb. They're as dumb as you. They're as dumb as me. Okay, people be dumb. We are dumb. I miss the point. I miss the point that other people are trying to make, especially on the other side of the aisle. Okay, I understand that. That doesn't mean you're right and I'm wrong, of course. But, like, I do miss the point because I'm not extreme racist, okay? So we all have these different perspectives. And because of those, like, differing starting points, those differing angles, okay, on these issues, we arrive. Not only do we arrive at different conclusions, but it's not always obvious why we arrived at that conclusion. So, when you are a political commentator, all that is to say is you need to use digestible words that are either easy to understand outright or easy to understand within the context of what you're saying. But you need to use simple words, and you need to be very specific about what you think, why you think it, what is the evidence, perhaps, if you wish to present that. Okay, me personally, I take a different approach. Okay, I take a different approach because, you know, number one, if I try to, like, support every little thing I say with evidence, I'm going to get some of that evidence wrong because I don't have all evidence of everything that I ever say memorized. Okay, so instead what I do is I say what I mean based on what I can remember, and then if somebody calls me out on it in the comments, then I will refresh my memory and make sure that I have everything right so I can present it to them in my comments. Okay, that's my approach. All right, basically, like, my content, it's not made to inflame people, believe it or not, but it does. Okay, it does, and that's just the reality. So I know people are going to leave comments. I know they're going to call me out on specific things sometimes, and that's why I operate this way. Okay, but most of the time they aren't very specific. By the way, most of the time people leave hateful comments where they disagree with me. They're intentionally vague and not specific. Okay, and that's why I always say, be specific.
And I am not
be specific when you call me out for something.
And also being
or with
considerate
anything
of their time. So, like, you gotta, again, this is just my opinion, but each of my sentence tries to do as much as possible without being, you know, too dense or needlessly, like, flashy. Like, I don't want to use big words. I mean, obviously, on some level, you have to articulate things, but the people, and you see this so much out of the left, I mean, they're such intellectual lovers.
Not really. Well, actually, what he just said just now. So, first of all, using big word, not always bad. Not always bad. Now, I know I just got done talking about using simple language. Okay, that doesn't mean you can never use big words. Okay, and I think this person acknowledges it, but anyway, but that is the implication of what he was saying. But anyway, leftists, they're not. So, like, we're not in 2016 anymore, man. Like, we're not. Okay, there are leftists, like, kind of annoying intellectuals, sure. But you have those figures on the right, too. You have Ben Shapiro, you have Michael Knowles. Okay. Now, the constituency, right? The regular people, liberals are typically more educated, yes. So they have a more, as you put it, expansive vocabulary. Okay. Leftists, generally, have a more expansive vocabulary. And I'm not talking the politicians, but, like, leftists, the people, okay? They are more well-educated, and that doesn't make them better, and it doesn't even make them smarter. It just makes them more educated, okay? It gives them more words, okay? And there are other benefits to being educated as well, okay? And what I'm talking about here is an uphill battle with people like this, because, of course, the universities are woke institutions that are transing the kids and yada yada, okay? And I know that is the narrative, but I'm speaking about what I know about universities and education in general. As a person that was lucky enough to get a very good start, a very good education growing up, this is what I learned. This is what I figured out about my experience versus that of the average American. Okay, and so all that is to say, the experience of the average American, which is a lack of education. Okay, most Americans severely neglect their education, and it's not their fault. It's, of course, the fault of the system which fails to educate them. Okay. And it is a fact that less educated people, like I was implying earlier, okay, less educated people, they vote Republican. They support Republican policy. Okay. And again, it has nothing to do with intelligence. It has everything to do with the ability to read media, right? Media literacy. And also potentially more high-level concepts in economics and criminal justice. Okay, like being able to understand those things will, push you towards being a leftist. Me personally, one of my wake-up calls was when I was at university and I was studying how our criminal justice system works. For any of you that don't know, I went to college and I dropped out. I'm a college dropout. Okay. And I was a criminal justice major. Okay, I learned about the criminal justice system, and turns out it's really fucked up. Okay, so that's it. That's all I really have to say about that. Let's keep going.
Just the most absurd words to try and get a single point across. And but this is kind of a roundabout answer. But my point really is that, like, it's a little bit oppositional. The podcasting is a little bit oppositional to kind of my intent. So it does worry me a little bit that maybe I'm not coming across as inauthentic, but not putting out what I would be able to put out if I sat down and wrote, a 2,000-word essay on it, where I can really refine my point. And there's a way to lead a narrative that takes a lot of time. I mean, you can honestly do it well off the cuff, but it just doesn't compare, certainly for myself, if I gave a 5-minute talk on something versus 5 minutes of a scripted outline for an argument. And so I don't know, if people wanted it, I guess I would do it, but and if I had to or something, like I can't, I don't know if you have Patreon, but bro, I don't have time to offer anything for the Patreon right now. I mean, dude, my job is honestly kind of suffering a little bit. I'm getting my master's degree right now, and I honestly might just drop out of that when the book comes out, because I do not have time. I can barely get another script out right now with all the other stuff I have going on. But at the same time, maybe a podcast would be good in the sense that I wouldn't need a script for it. You just tap in and...
Yeah, so I think that this guy might get boosted if he fails hard enough. Only time will tell, though.
Put it out.
See,
maybe, like,
I'm excited to.
Have you looked into that at all? Like
see
monetizing
what's in
this?
store for
I'm
him,
not driven
I
by
guess.
money for it. I mean, I understand that we will need to, and especially if I have to quit my job, it's like you don't have another choice. But I'm just so uninterested in, like, creating this alternate option for people.
Honestly, I think the move, if you want to be a right-wing commentator, is not to do what these guys are doing. Instead, what you should do is you should become a left-wing commentator and then fail at it and then become a right-wing commentator. Okay? I could still do this. Like, I could. If I give up on this, then it fails, and then I could probably I could get boosted. Okay? It's true. Mr. Republic. And the reason I say this is just because it's happened over and over again. Ben Shapiro, failed Hollywood actor, failed screenwriter, failed Hollywood screenwriter. Okay, he was woke. He was liberal. Actually, no, I could be wrong about that. Okay, he was like he was more moderate. He was more of like a left-leaning moderate back then, but he wasn't into politics. Candace Owens, everybody's favorite, Candace Owens, originally was an anti-Trump blogger.
Of, hey, if you want to see this, come behind this paywall. And how do you feel about that? Have you even looked into it yet?
I mean, there's been people that have asked me about Patreon. I don't really feel
I'll be right
like I
back.
have enough value to offer people. I am monetized on YouTube
Damn
for now,
straight.
but a lot of my videos get demonetized.
Really? I
Yeah.
just monetized mine.
Oh, for real? It's pretty like decent. It's just I've noticed, and I probably won't say some of the phrases here, but there are definitely like phrases you can't use. It's kind of
Really?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I'll probably tell you. I can message you them later, but it's pretty much anything related to them boys, if you know. Yeah, I'm not
Well,
even
dude.
kidding. It's crazy, bro. I made a video where I tested. It was a geopolitical video. And I tested out. I had like this intro edit that I did, and I tested out the audio to see if it would let me monetize the audio by just
I didn't
uploading.
know that's how it worked.
Yeah, by just like I uploaded the basic like 4-minute clip to YouTube to see if it would approve it, and it did. And then I uploaded sections, and then it approved those sections. And then the one part where I was talking about, it was like, yeah, your monetization is extremely limited, and basically it made like a quarter. So it's like,
Man,
but I don't care. Like, I'm not somebody who's very materialistic. I'm just
me
not. I have a good life. I have good friends. I don't need money.
Yeah.
Would I like to do this and not work a normal job and focus on doing this? Yeah, but I don't want to make a video talking about a war happening somewhere or like something going on with ICE, and then I got to stop in the middle of the video and talk about like Ridge Wallet or fucking Raytheon
I couldn't
headphones.
do
It's
that
like,
crap.
bro, like
I agree.
Here's
I'd do that.
Raid Shadow Legends. It's like, bro, nah.
Well,
I'd do stupid
so
little
I
ads
didn't
like
realize
that,
in
but
one of my videos about the Fuentes
but
Discord-
motherfucker, you could never. That wouldn't work. Okay, that wouldn't work. Not until Americans are more primed for your kind of racism, which will hopefully be never. Okay, like you have achieved the modicum of success because of the niche which the new permission structure of racism has allowed. Okay, but that doesn't mean that you're popular. And you never will be. I hope. God, I hope not. But, anyway, that's why you'll never get advertisers. You'll never be able to do that. Okay, that's why, like, not even actual Justice Warrior could get a fucking advertiser. Okay, or a sponsor, I mean. Like, that guy has to funnel people into his Patreon account, and he is way more... And, look, actual Justice Warrior, he is very racist, okay? I've talked about it before. But next to you... next to you, that guy's a moderate. Okay, it's crazy. It's great. It's all about perspective. Okay, like I said, that guy, crazy racist. Okay, that's why he couldn't get a sponsor. But you're on another level, bro. You're never. That would never happen. Like, stop talking about like, oh, I wouldn't do it if I could get it. Like, bitch, you couldn't get it no matter what. You dumb motherfucker.
Like,
You
I was,
never
making fun
will.
of, Finkelstein for selling his book, and then at the end of my video, I was like, oh, by the way, I'm coming out with a book, and I was like. But then I thought about it, and I was like, okay, well, what else am I supposed to do? Because I saw one comment, and it was honestly very positive, but I saw one guy, he's like, are you really trying to sell your book? I'm like, you want me to just not say anything about it? And also, dude, you don't get rich off that at all. I mean, it's really, like, this thing would have to sell millions.
If you're a good writer, you can.
Substance, but, yeah, the advertisements, no, and I don't want
If
to
you actually write
beholden to
good-
anybody as well, and that's why
Good shit, then yeah.
even though he's so brutal in the super chats, I mean, it honestly is kind of hard for me to watch because he's just so brutal, but, it's funny, obviously, but I do feel bad for some of the people because I obviously look up to him. But at least he's not at risk of getting a sponsorship drop or something like that. But I'm like you in that the only interest I have in monetizing it, and my brother, we might start selling something, but again, it's more of just like to try and build a community, and it's not gonna probably make substantial money, but I just need enough for sustenance.
Yeah.
It really. And another thing too with I see this like
Take note. This is what they want. Okay, this is American culture now. I just need enough for sustenance. I'm not gonna lie. I've had thoughts like that before. I still do. I don't need much. I just need food and in my basic like think about that. We are Americans, and that's what we're saying. Like, oh, how far we've fallen. Where before Americans reveled in excess, in luxury, and now we say shit like that. Now we say shit like, I just need some slop and some water. That's all I need. Yep. Yeah, bro. You know, we don't want more. We don't need more. Let's just be happy with the way things are. Let's return to tradition. That's what we need to do.
Obviously, it's their job, but at the same time, they are compelled
Genius.
to make 3 videos a day out of whatever has happened in the world. And I don't know about you, but I have to actually be inspired for whatever I'm going to write about. I can't. I mean, there's been a few times where I've been like, I really haven't gotten a video out in a week or two, and I need to give a take on something.
Yeah, jeez, dude, a week? Oh my god. So many things are happening. I can't imagine going a week without uploading. Okay, like I can't. Okay, when I was on vacation for New Year's, I was like, and I had videos scheduled to upload, but I was itching. I was like, holy shit, like shit's going down, like I need to be covering this right now, but I couldn't. And anyway, yeah, just like I like, oh, 1 video a week. You can't, like, that's so pathetic, dog. That's so sad. Oh well, I gotta write the script and then I gotta edit it. Bro, dog, I watched your videos, man. It can't take you that long. It can't take you that long to edit them. It can't. It cannot. I could edit any one of your videos. I think I could have edited in an hour or less. So, like, what are you doing, man? What is going on?
I don't like operating that way. You know, I'm a pretty creative guy. I've actually, when I was like 23, I published a novel.
Oh wow.
And but my job is complete, like, executive operations. I don't mean that like I'm like some big executive. My point is that there's no creativity in my job. It's very
shit.
It's very like order and systematic, because when I'm operating creatively in accordance with like strict rules or regulations, and even on some level of the book right now, luckily I have so much inherent drive to do it.
Who was watching this? How many views does this have? It's got 20,000 views. Who the fuck is watching this, man? This shit is so boring. These guys have no personality. Like, and like when they're on their own, I feel like if I collaborated with another leftist, we'd probably shoot the shit, you know, we'd have some fun with it, maybe we'd make some jokes, and maybe it would be a little cringe. But it wouldn't be like this. It would, like, these guys feel like they have sticks up their asses. Like, each of them have one stick up their ass, okay? Like they're both just being really awkward and like they're scared of each other almost. Like they're, like, both of them are both scared of each other and what they're saying, and I don't know why. Like, relax. You know, have some fun with it. But, because, like, this is just hard to sit through, because both of these guys on their own, when they're on their own, it's like, you know, you can watch them, and Right-Wing Coalition, yeah, he's kind of boring, like, you know, whatever, but like Tom Foe, he, you know, it depends on what day you're getting him, but he can be bombastic, you know, he can be a little bit, at least a little entertaining, at least, okay? But like here, they're just, it's like they're dead, okay? It's like they got resurrected or something. They just woke up from the longest slumber.
This isn't a problem, but
like, what is going on,
you're told
man?
You have 3 days to write 5,000 words. It's like your barometer becomes a metric rather than kind of the spark that actually funds what you're doing. And I don't like operating that way, and that does worry me a little bit about stepping into this if I'm able to do it like fully.
Maybe they're just nervous because it's the, you know, it's like they just met each other. Okay, that's what I'm gonna assume. Okay, they've never spoken to each other. They just met fucking 25 minutes ago. Okay, we are 25 minutes in right now. Okay, maybe they'll warm up to each other. I don't know. don't know, man.
beginning
Maybe
to
it'll get
have to
more
operate
interesting.
that way on some level. Do you feel the same? Like, it's kind of, from what I can tell, you kind of just, when you feel it, you're like, all right, I'm making a video right now. At least that's what it seems like from Twitter.
Yeah, that's actually how it is. I have to, like, I can't, it's like, yeah, sometimes something will pop up and I'll feel like, all right, I should give myself some type of deadline to do something, because I don't want to just, you know, be dead in the water. I want to actually work towards something. And not every single one of my videos has to be the greatest thing ever, because that's not the point is, and I get the creative thing, because I've made other types of stuff before.
Yeah,
like
the
other
point
types
is
of content just for a
consistency.
creative itch.
Look, guys, this isn't the hard part. Okay, content creators, they focus on this shit. They always do. And look, I love the spirit. I love the meta-analysis of your content creation. You know, I love hearing content creators talk about this. It's just that, like, you're not adding anything new to the conversation. And not only that, you're focusing on things that are unimportant. Okay? Like, I'm very aware of the shortcomings of my content, the problems that it has, okay? And I've been talking about it a lot recently because there is a person in my Discord who won't shut up about it. He won't shut up about the, like analyzing my content and how I could make it better, and it's like, I never asked you, bro, and you also have no expertise in this area. But anyway, I've had this guy in my Discord, and he's like telling me how I should make my content, how I should change it. And look, I am aware of the problems with my content. The problem is it's too long. Okay, my content very long. Need short content good, long content bad. Okay, and that is somewhat true. Okay, it is somewhat true. Like shorter content, it is easier to like, the barrier to entry is lower for the audience. This is obvious. Okay, it's just that I like my content. I like it. I like making it. I like editing it. I like the process. Okay, and I've achieved some success with it. People seem to be liking it, so I'm gonna keep doing it. Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep making this content. Is it what the people want? Well, I think so, yeah. Because I've listened to suggestions. I've had people come into my comments and say, hey, you should react to this person or that person. And I was like, okay, and then I did. And they were like, thanks for doing this. I was waiting for somebody to talk about this content creator. And I was like, yeah, you know, no problem. And so, like, my point is, I do want to give people what they want, but I don't want to change my content fundamentally. You know, I like the long form. I like it. Okay, what's important is first hooking people, which is what I've been focusing on the last 60 days, and it's how I have achieved the success so far. But also, you know, you have to hook people in, but then, you know, most of those people are going to leave. They're going to click off the video. Because, yeah, you hooked them, but then they're like, well, you know, this video is fucking 30 minutes long, or 45 minutes, or an hour. I don't want to watch all this. Okay, they click off. Whatever. Okay, but the people that stay, they are why the substance of my arguments matter so much. Okay, and that's my primary focus, is being as accurate as possible, making as few mistakes in my presentation of my narrative. Okay, that's it, because the people that stick around after they get hooked, those are the people that'll return. Those are the people that'll subscribe, or they'll click on the next thumbnail that gets recommended to them. You know? So that's the vote. And, you know, even with shorter form content, okay, and I mean shorter as in, it's not short form, but like shorter than mine. Okay, Tom Foe makes like usually 20-30 minute videos. That's typically shorter, slightly shorter than my videos. But this matters for him as well. Okay, so he has that hook with his thumbnails. But then what matters is that he makes the people that click on that thumbnail feel heard, feel seen. and they feel like he's saying what they're thinking. Okay, that's it. That's why this is where the personality comes into play. Okay, Tom Poe is I think he's pretty relatable. You know, he gets angry. I think I used the word bombastic earlier. Okay, he kind of bounces off the walls sometimes a little bit, and he gets super racist with it. Okay, that resonates with the kind of people that see that thumbnail and they click on it. All right, that's it.